At ngayong araw na to, gagawa naman natin ng kakaibang recipe gamit ang ating paboritong corned beef.
Simple, luto na,
So ano ba yung gagawin natin? So gagawa tayo ng parang dumplings, no? So yung pechay natin dito, ginawa ko, binandian ko na siya. So nagpakulo ako ng tubig na may asin, then dinuto ko siya hanggang lumambot. So medyo limp na siya. So it's easy to wrap our corned beef later. Yan. So tinabi ko siya, pinunasan ko siya para hindi na siya wet. So eto, meron tayong isang lata na corned beef. Yung ihalo ko dito sa corned beef ay 3/4 cup na breadcrumbs. Yung breadcrumbs na to, gawa ko lang to. So, meron akong mga tira-tirang matinapay na medyo tumigas na. And I use a cheese grater. So, cheese grater yung ginamit ko para i-grate siya, para magkaroon siya ng ganyang texture. And we add an egg. So, tingnan mo, halos 1 cup yung hinalo ko na breadcrumbs dito. So, halos dumoble yung dami ng ating corned beef. And we just add a little bit of chopped onions. Yan, to add flavor. So, yung gagawin natin, meron ako dito yung aking mga pieces of pechay. So, we just get a spoonful of our corned beef mixture and wrap. No? So, nangyayari sa atin, medyo nagiging very easily handled to kasi malambot na yung ating dahon. Then we arrange it in a pan. Yan. So we continue. Okay, so we're done. Look at that. Napuno na natin yung ating pan. Let's put it here. So, look at that, guys. Sa isang lata lang natin na corned beef, ang dami nating nagawa. Nakagawa tayo ng 8 packets kasi sobrang ding daming halos 1 cup ng breadcrumbs ang nilagay natin. Then yung dalawang egg, pinaghiwalay natin yung pula at saka yung puti. So, yung egg yolk nakahalo dito sa ating wrap na corned beef. And we heat up the pan, turn on the fire, and we just pour a little bit of chicken stock. Yan. So, we braise our cabbage in chicken stock. Tama lang ha, look at that. Hindi natin inubos yung chicken stock natin. It's just enough to cover our cabbage. We just put a little bit of carrots, diced carrots, for color. So we just cover that and we let that cook for 5 minutes. So after braising our corned beef dumplings, tingnan natin, nag-reduce na yung sauce niya. Look at that. Medyo dry na siya. What do we do now? So may natira akong chicken stock kanina, di ba? And meron akong egg whites. So I just get a tablespoon of my chicken stock. I add to my egg whites and stir. And I add the rest of my chicken stock into the braised corned beef dumplings. Yan. Then let it boil. And I just add a little bit of slurry. Ano yung slurry? A little cornstarch and water. Just to thicken our braising liquid. Mix it up. So look at that. Naging firm na yung ating corned beef. Hindi na siya lasog-lasog because of our egg and breadcrumbs na hinalo. So our dumplings already done and we have a very thin sauce around. And we just have our egg whites. Diba? May egg whites na which we added with a little bit of stock. Pour over. Let it simmer and curdle. Season with a little bit of black pepper. So when we're ready to plate, look at that. Turn off our fire. Yan, and arrange on our plate. Look at that. And we just drizzle our sauce on top. Looks so elegant. And we sprinkle just a bit of spring onions. Look at that. It looks so elegant. It looks so delicious. This is our corned beef wraps in egg sauce. Or pwede na rin nating tawaging corned beef sarsyado. Simple! Nagustuhan niyo ba ang video na to? Please share para lalong dumaming ating mga kasimple. And don't forget to subscribe to our Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram accounts.